Mm.
It's not a game show, though. Hey-oh. There's no game show, Emma. Why the game show music?
Just to make you happy, Damien. That's all I'm
I
here
do.
for.
Do like it. Live
get
from
happy
deep in
about
your
this.
sock drawer. It's a Tuesday Uber Nugget edition of Business Pants, joined as always by Emma, Trend Spotting Lurking, and Matt, TSR Mascardi.
I'm all about the TSR.
I'm a very dusty wind.
I'm not sure I like that.
In today's farce-shaped bag of igloo-sized nuggets called July 12th, 2022, Uber sucked even more than we knew, and nuggets. Come on, let's do it.
Nuggets! All right.
How come I get stuck with all the serious today? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You guys get to fool around?
You depress everybody.
Mhm.
And then, actually, what we did was give you the story that's breaking that I mostly think is like, excellent news from 5 years ago. So that
Okay,
no
well,
one cares about it.
Both of you feel free to interrupt me as I tell the story. Because
Okay.
Yeah, we have problems interrupting. Yeah.
I'm more
Yeah,
interested in the
that's us.
conversation.
Mhm.
Uber, here's the headline. Uber broke laws, duped police, and secretly lobbied governments. Leak reveals. Okay, so the unprecedented leak to The Guardian of more than 124,000 documents known as the Uber files. We have another file. It's exciting when there are files.
Wasn't
There's
it
gotta be more
Facebook
files.
Papers and now
Yeah.
it's the Uber Files?
I love it.
I like papers better than files. If I'm
No, I like
rating
files.
what I
like
want
files.
more of, I want more papers and less files.
I agree.
Well, to be fair to you idiots, these are not papers. They're files. They're data files.
The Panama Papers were all in paper form. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this document dump lays bare the ethically questionable practices, of course, that fueled Uber's enormous growth. The leak spans a 5-year period when the company was run by one of its co-founders, Travis Kalanick, probably one of the most despicable people in our world, right? Like, he's in the Bobby Kotick category of disgusting. Wouldn't you agree?
Is he Bobby Kotick level? I guess he is. huh?
Yeah, I was reading the Guardian, New York Times articles from 2017 when he was forced out of the company that he founded by his major shareholders, and there's a lot of heinous stuff that was involved with. There's just like sexual harassment and mismanagement of rape trials and breaking law. There's just a lot of nasty stuff going on.
Was
mean-
Travis? Did
Yeah.
Travis participate in the actions, or was he just complicit in allowing them to happen to others?
I think it's all the above. I mean,
Okay.
there was tape. Remember of him back in the day berating a driver. There's all kinds of. He's just I think he's the more aggressive, youthful version of Bobby Kotick. Let's just say.
Okay. Cool. Excellent. Just what we need.
Leaked messages suggest Uber executives were at the same time under no illusions about the company's law breaking, with one executive joking they had become pirates and another conceding we're just fucking illegal. And I remind you, Matt, the reason why I guess you should be interested in this is that this is not secondhand information. These are actual documents leaked from the work at Uber. We don't get a look into this very often. With actual emails, WhatsApp messages. This isn't
I get it.
disgruntled employees saying things.
It is a disgruntled employee who leaked it all.
Okay,
Mhm.
stop it. Doesn't
Well-
matter. It's still firsthand information.
I'm just saying, is this new firsthand information?
Why does it have to be so new? Yeah, it is. A lot of it's okay. I'll tell you. Yeah, Emma.
I agree, Damien, with you. I think that
For once.
No, you don't.
for this little tidbit in particular, I know that Matt's all blasé and I don't care and it's so 5 years ago, but the fact that these men, the highest ranking executives at this company, were so relaxed about running a company illegally that they were joking about it via email. Imagine being like,
Yeah, Matt.
we're doing something illegal. We could go to jail. Ha ha, we're pirates.
And let's be honest, Emma.
The level of
Yeah.
entitlement is getting me. I
Let's
don't
be-
know. I'm upset.
Let's be honest. If you squint, Matt really looks like a Silicon Valley Travis Kalanick tech
Look,
bro.
the thing is,
The only reason why you're not, Matt, is you seem to have failed with us. Like, where's our rapid growth?
mistake
Where's
was
our
made.
You know,
where's
somewhere.
our 20 million investment? I want the creative team to grow. Where are you, Travis
you know my
Viscardi?
my background in deep AI learning has really set us back. Oh wait, I have a background in music. That's why
Oh.
we're not a
Emma,
tech
we
company.
picked our CEO poorly.
Yikes.
Look, I think
forgot.
I think the thing about this story that's interesting is if you replace the name Uber and Travis with any Silicon Valley startup, like
Well, that's
if
the
it was
problem.
Zuck and Facebook, if it was Holmes and Theranos, if it
Mhm.
was, I mean, like, it's all the same story. It's we do not care about the implications or the legality of what we're doing. We do not care about whether or not we hurt people incidentally along the way. We do care about growth at all costs, and we'll fix it later on when
More
we get there.
importantly,
That's the
is
thing.
gaining market share. More importantly,
Yeah, the thing is
once you're there, the customers
win,
are going to be pissed if you leave.
win, and then fix it later.
Yeah, because I mean
that's
because
the mentality.
otherwise, who would join Facebook now, knowing what they knew? Wait, what? You know what I'm
A
saying?
lot of
Knowing
people, it would seem.
what
I get-
you know now would
Just shut up for once. In one exchange, Travis dismissed concerns from other executives that sending Uber drivers to a protest in France put them at risk of violence from angry opponents in the taxi industry. Here's the quote from Travis. I think it's worth it. Violence guarantees success, meaning success for Uber. So he wanted violence against his drivers because
All right, Travis, you go on over to France and you experience some violence, and we see how you like it.
no,
Sounds
that's
good.
not going to happen. I like this one. The Uber files also show that the company's use of stealth technology to thwart government investigations was far more expensive than previously reported. Company executives activated a so-called kill switch to cut access to company servers and prevent authorities from seizing evidence during raids on Uber offices in at least 6 countries. Come on, Matt. This is real stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, Google has like secret servers in China, and like I don't know.
This
I don't
is
know. Look,
your out is that everybody's elite.
yeah, they're all.
criminals?
I think that they're all criminals. I mean, like
Well, you know what?
in some way, to do what they like these companies do, these Silicon Valley companies achieve, there is almost always like some level of legal line that they have to come near or cross.
And then they pay a fine, and everything's okay again.
Well, okay.
That's the
Well,
real problem.
yeah.
That's
Here's
the
what could
real
be
problem.
different now.
Interplay between government and these companies.
Okay,
is
well,
the problem.
here's the opportunity because with actual evidence of wrongdoing, criminality, maybe the hammer can come down on a company like Uber. Maybe it can finally be an example of founder fetish gone too far. One more tidbit: Uber offered shares to media barons for political help, so they would actually be offering shares to media companies to help promote their bullshit. Matt, were you about to say something?
I just think the interesting tidbits in the story, and the reason why it got picked up in the Guardian and in Le Monde, right, which is the French paper.
The papers were
Mhm.
leaked to the Guardian.
But the
Files.
the French angle is Macron's directly involved, right? Like he is a sitting president now who was a minister who gave favors to a company for political purpose.
We don't know what yet the favors are. There's an exchange in there directly texting then Minister of Finance Macron during the violence and protests in France, where France suspended Uber from its services. Travis reached out saying, "Can you do something about this?" Macron went and talked to his buddies, and then like hours later, something happened.
And does that sound vaguely
Uber was back in
familiar
business.
to Zuckerberg getting grilled in front of Congress, goes
It
to
does.
dinner with Trump, and like everybody is a little bit hunky dory. Nobody knows what handshake agreement or wink winks happen, if any, right? But we assume they happen. But this is like a pattern. This is a repeating pattern.
It is,
And it's
And it's
not,
not good- yeah.
one party. It's not like the problem is you cannot regulate these companies if they are intertwined with government handouts and subsidies. Like no one's going to bother regulating social media out of existence, which should absolutely happen, when they generate too much in the way of sort of political advantage for sitting politicians.
And Macron, as an example, is already he's already riding that horse because he first of all he was already unpopular with the non-French elite for being this kind of corporate person. Like he's been forever unpopular because of this, and today he's already coming out saying, yeah, he's not distancing himself from it. He's like, yeah, I'm proud of my conversations with executives at corporations because they bring jobs. So he's already playing it that. He's doing good for his countrymen, even though they all seem to hate him, even though he gets reelected a lot. So before I wrap up those files, more than 180 journalists at 40 media outlets, including Le Monde, Washington Post, BBC, will in the coming days publish a series of investigative reports about these files. So I don't know. There's more coming. Let's see what it is. Matt, you alluded to the whistleblower. The whistleblower was the former top lobbyist in Europe at Uber, Mark McGann. There's an interesting little side note here where Uber said that he waited to be a whistleblower until after receiving his bonus check.
Yeah.
But then The Guardian, of course, comes out and says actually Uber's a liar because McGann contacted The Guardian 5 months before his settlement was reached with Uber. So Uber still lying, it looks like.
The question, the lingering question that would make this story interesting is whether there are current executives at Uber who were there then and now, and whether the management team is largely intact, including board members.
All right, let's talk about it. So
yeah,
let's talk about that part. I have some data for you on that. Kalanick stepped down as CEO in 2017. That was big news because he was a reprehensible a-hole, forced out, poster child for being a reprehensible a-hole. But you know what? He stayed on the board for another 2 years. This is the ludicrousy of what you're referring to, Matt. It's ludicrous to me that they so-called distance themselves from him and yet let him remain with all of his influence, all of his power, all of his co-founder juice.
Shares.
He stayed on the board for 2 years and only left seemingly when he was ready to leave. He announced his retirement 8 days before December 31st, 2019. And he went out on a high saying he's proud of all that Uber has achieved. CEO Dara said that very few entrepreneurs have built something as profound as Travis did. Enormously grateful. Chair Ron Sugar said he wanted to thank Travis. So it's all a bunch of bullshit, honestly.
I mean, he sold all his shares. He's a multi-billionaire.
And I hope if someone comes down on Uber, if there is some kind of clawback or reparations, I don't know what's going to happen, but that they realize that Uber never really distanced themselves from him. That there are still 6 directors currently on the board who served with Kalanick when the company IPO'd. 6, including the chair Ron Sugar, and including 2 directors that Travis Kalanick designated himself. He appointed Ursula Burns and John Tain. He designated them as directors to Uber, and they're still sitting there. There are also, here's where it gets a little weird. There are still several executives who are still on the board since the IPO. But then when we looked at the website of Uber, we looked at all 11 executives. For some reason, they stripped from their bios when they joined Uber. I don't know. I don't know if they're playing a game. I think they're probably playing a game directly with us because we're the only ones who are actually. We're the only ones who look into things beyond just reporting the story. But we can't actually, from their information, we are unsure who was brought up by Travis, who was a Travis friend who's still there. We do know that the 2 people who have dates are Gus Fuldner, Vice President of Safety and Core Services. He joined in 2013. And actually a Frenchman who was a Senior Vice President of Delivery who joined in 2012. he was the vice president of Uber's ride-hailing business outside of North America, so he could be complicit in a lot of this. So before we wrap up on this, I'm expecting at a minimum for there to be a hell of a lot of additional turnover here, right? I mean, can't we at least expect that? Like, these people cannot remain, can they? Can Ron Sugar survive this? How does he survive this? Why does he survive
We also
this?
know that Jill Hazelbaker.
Yeah, you just wanted
whose
to say
name is
Hazel Baker.
Relatively fake.
Yeah.
According to her Google or LinkedIn profile, joined Uber in 2015, which means she's
LinkedIn
currently the
profile,
head.
okay.
Yeah, she's the head of public affairs at Uber.
So she was appointed by Travis.
I mean, what we know, Uber put out a statement that said 90% of the employees at Uber are not the same employees as when this happened, when Travis was the CEO.
But those are probably the employees who are like putting out muffins. They're probably not
I'm interested in the 10%.
the top dogs.
Right?
Yeah.
The 10% appear to be of the 11. We can quickly identify 2 at least, but maybe 3 or 4 who are still there. And my guess is if an investigative journalist gets deep, the 10% of the people are still in charge.
Yeah.
And-
well, let's not forget, like, even the connections that are pretty apparent. The CFO, who was also there at the IPO when Travis was sitting on the board, Nelson Chai, he was at CIT Group with John Tain. They were both in senior management there. So clearly there's a direct connection to Travis there. I mean, an absolutely direct connection.
There are a number of connections that we can make because I know Ron Sugar is connected back to Uber, and John Tain, and a number of others who are on the board because he's one of the most connected board members in the world. This is not exactly the group of people. When you say 90% of the company is different and that cultural stuff is behind us, which is every Uber press release so far, like, you know, it's all behind us. We are focused on the Uber of now, not the Uber of yesterday. That's what they're saying. Except that the Uber of yesterday largely runs the Uber of now, right? Like Dara may be new, a couple people may be new, but they're all interconnected back. That's the important part. That is when you start talking about clawbacks and government, interplay. Macron, president now. People at Uber who are here now, we're dealing with Macron then and now, right? Like, it's not like a new thing. That's where it's interesting to me. Because the growth stuff, the illegal stuff, that's less interesting than the people stuff.
Yeah, so I think Uber, you can't play that game. You can't play like, oh, Travis is gone. It's just not that simple. So stop it.
Stop it.
All right. I'm assuming more will come out of this. We'll keep following the story. So why don't we try to have some fun now? Come on.
Yay! All right, give me some music let's liven this up. Give me some nuggety or some fun music. Maybe even yellow.
Let's see what Emma thinks is fun. What does Emma
Meadow
think
Brick
is fun?
Road. Yeah, what's Emma choose for fun music? Let's see. Oh, it's the classic. It's the classic music that our listeners literally hate.
Come on, let's do this.
All right, it's a big nugget chewy grab bag by our resident asshole in chief today. Me. I'm doing your nuggets
Every
today.
day, really. Mm-hmm.
Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In our new ammunition purchasing laws could kill your pets, says Bombs and Ammo Monthly magazine. Headline of the week. New ESG rules are hurting American farmers, says oilprice.com.
Oilprice.com.
Oilprice.com, apparently doing journalism. Quote from the article, the rule will force farms and ranches to adopt more rigorous reporting regimes, which could weigh on their bottom line. Really convincing stuff.
Yeah,
from
and they're really talking about giant corporate farms. They're not talking about mom and pop farms.
No.
Yeah.
They framed it as like John's farm in his backyard in his rigorous reporting regimes. Okay, I had to buy an extra seat on my Delta flight to Boise, and now this? Headline of the week. Pregnant woman fights $215 fine for driving alone in carpool lane, claiming her unborn child counts as a passenger, report says.
I
like this. I like this a lot because
talk
it's
about this
way
already?
closer. It's closer to my I had to get an abortion for self-defense legal argument that I feel.
I thought we
coming.
talked about this already, Matt. But you know what you're missing here? 'Cause let's get back to the flight, Delta flight. Do you know that Heathrow today put out a letter saying, "Stop it. We're limiting passengers. Stop booking so many flights." Can I just say how happy I am?
Go home, people.
This is like I've been waiting for this all my life.
Home.
Heathrow. This is one of the busiest airports in the world. Is like, stop it.
Go home. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're correct. If I put a bed in the bathroom,
Oh.
it counts as a bedroom now, right? Headline of the week. Google proposes moving ad business to Alphabet to keep regulators at bay.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Yes. Google's idea for
Yeah.
the Department of Justice antitrust review is to move its ad auctions from Google, a wholly owned subsidiary of Alphabet, to Alphabet, the parent company of Google.
Okay.
What?
I don't
I'm
even know what
not
the
I'm
difference
just
is. Like, how does that
I'm
even?
just
What does that
reporting.
solve for? I don't even know
It
what that
doesn't.
solves for.
The
just
takeaway is that
reporting.
it doesn't do anything, right?
Just
Am I
reporting.
missing something?
I don't
You're not
know.
missing a thing. Just laugh at the joke and we'll move on.
Okay. I did.
In
see?
our, did you remember the measuring tape, honey? Look, every time a black guy gets beat up and I want to live stream it on a Zuckerberg property for future appeal of the oversight board, you leave the damn measuring tape next to the couch. Headline of the week.
I'm so confused.
Arizona makes it illegal for bystanders to record cops at close range.
What?
What does close range
Yeah,
mean?
what is close range?
In case you're wondering, close range is 8 feet or more or less. 7 feet,
8 feet or
too
less.
close. Which means, can you imagine, like they're actively beating on a minority, you're trying to live stream it, and someone gets out the measuring tape and says, you need to back up or I'm going to fine you. That's the way that works.
That
I don't like
can't.
Arizona anymore.
I refuse to believe that will stand.
Real
Someone
law.
Oh,
It's a real
it'll
law.
stand. I
I-
hate to tell
no.
you.
It's a real law. Okay. Since you're so upbeat today, where did I put that list of my rights? Oh, here it is. Life, liberty, happiness, steak, and same-day delivery for rubber chickens. Headline of the week. Morton's has been flooded with phone calls and fake reservations after it said Brett Kavanaugh had a, quote, right to eat dinner without protesters gathering outside.
That was their fault. That's Morton's
Yeah, I mean,
fault. Them
they had
using
this
the word
coming.
right, they deserve it. I don't know what they were thinking.
I think they were thinking that they're on Brett Kavanaugh's side of this political argument, as my guess, because they had to know that this was coming.
I think they just want everyone to have the right to eat steak quietly at their expensive steakhouse. That's all.
Probably.
That's a fundamental right. Oh, but not if you can't afford it and/or are a minority, probably.
Nobody likes Morton's anymore anyway, so.
In our wait, we sell chicken now? Since when? Oh, you mean we're one of the largest chicken producers? Where the hell have I been? Am I right? Headline of the week. Tyson Foods works to fix its chicken operations.
Oh, they have to fix it? That's
Still?
gross. I know, but
Efforts-
think about the implications there. This is like the Burger King story. Like now the food is
27% of their sales are chickens. And efforts to date include things like raising chickens better, killing chickens better, and selling chickens better.
that's terrible. Stop it. I don't like this.
And then finally, in
Yeah,
our
let's go.
chewy
Yeah.
grab bag of biz nuggets, a shout out to Damien. In our, hey, Ma, there's a spaceship in the yard. Tell Dad. Oh, wait, never mind, Ma. It landed on Dad. Headline of the week. 1 in 10 chance of casualties from out-of-control rockets falling to Earth over next decade, study finds.
1 in
Yeah.
10 chance. 1 in 10.
Yeah.
1
Out of
in
control
10.
rocket. Stop it. What is this from?
This
Is this from oilprice.com? Where did you get this one
is,
from?
This is from Nature or Smithsonian. I can't remember, but
Oh,
a
no.
real magazine.
That could be
And
real.
a fun fact: the largest owner of satellites, which are the primary source of
don't tell
out-of-control
me.
rockets,
Don't say it.
is
Don't say it.
Elon Musk and SpaceX.
that.
That's your chewy grab bag. Of
You know what
Biz
sucks about
Nuggets.
this, Matt? Because I'm just thinking about me. I don't care about any of you. I spend a lot of time now in my backyard. It's my I got a new hammock. I've got some of these gravity chair. I am prone for a rocket to fall on me. Every weekend now I'm out there with a book. It's ridiculous.
You can order on
gonna be me.
Amazon.
gonna be
You
me.
can order on Amazon a rocket repelling umbrella. I'm sure.
I just need like a
eventually.
giant
It'll
cement
come.
igloo that Emma,
Now
Emma
to
can
Emma
build
for
me.
our trend nuggets.
Come on,
Trend
Emma.
Nuggets.
Here are your trend nuggets. Yay.
Oh, Emma gets applause. I got nothing. Emma gets applause.
Yeah.
They're just happy it's a new segment.
Here we go. This is sort of a trend dumpster dive nuggets hybrid. Here we go. Number 1, I hope it stays offline forever now that the director of the Secret Service is its chief security officer. Why does Snapchat keep logging me out? Users report issues with app login. So people
Yeah.
are currently very upset about not being able to log on to Snapchat. When I checked the Google
very.
Trends today, it was a lot of Snapchat, which I really have very little else to say about this. Just
Evan
Snapchat
Spiegel.
was
That's it.
Yeah.
in front of my face, and I'm sure people were Googling, is Snapchat down? Why won't Snap work? Snapchat login busted, and other things like that. But I would point out that they have a 10-person board and 3 women on their board. So
30%. Oh,
you
congratulations.
know, look at them adhering.
All appointed by Evan Spiegel directly, I'm sure, because
Yes.
he owns voting rights.
Absolutely. Number 2, moving on. Finally, a fast food headline that isn't about Travis Scott or tacos on Cheez-Its headline of the week.
No,
Subway.
it's
is-
Cheez-Its in tacos. You just stop it,
No,
Emma.
It's
No,
on.
It's on.
Oh,
It's
really?
on.
Cheez-It, yes.
That's
Do
a
your
small
research,
taco.
Damien.
Yeah, Damien.
Okay.
Subway is giving away 1 million free sandwiches today. Here's how
What?
to get one.
I do not want one.
So from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. today, the
Yeah.
first 50 Subway customers get a free 6-inch
Wait.
sub, and they get to choose from 10 options.
That's
Yeah.
50. That's 50 free sandwiches. Okay.
Yeah. So here's the kicker for me. I actually happened to be in a Subway recently. Did you know that a footlong is a footlong, no drink, no cookie, no chips,
Yeah.
nothing. A footlong is $10.69, more than double its previous $5 footlong price. And a 6-inch isn't even
Really?
$5 anymore. A 6-inch sub is $7.29.
Okay,
The
where
$5
were you
footlong
though?
is
Were you
dead.
like the Upper East Side? Like where were you?
No, I was around the corner from my shitty little Lower East Side apartment.
Oh,
That's
your
where I was.
shitty Lower East Side apartment. Stop it. You're on the island with the highest real estate probably in the world, top 10.
It's still shitty. Have you been there? You've been there, right? Everything's
yeah,
shitty there.
stop it. Manhattan is like stop it. Stop it.
Has
Just
anybody
stop.
actually?
Just stop.
Has anybody measured the length of a
I thought that's
footlong
where
or
we're
a
going
6-inch?
here. I thought that's where
I
we're
was
going
really
here.
hoping that the length was like 5 inches on a
Yeah.
6-inch.
Emma,
That
can you
feels-
get back out there and start measuring sandwiches?
I want you to buy 26-inch subs and do the average length of a 6-inch sub.
Whew.
And more importantly, Emma, what are you doing? You live in New York City and you're at a Subway? I mean, you should be.
I was not purchasing the Subway. I am going to throw my roommate under the bus. It was his
No, really.
Subway trip that I was accompanying him
Let's
on.
talk about it. Can we talk about your
buy
roommate?
26
Has your roommate been in a coma for 47 years? Like, what's going on here?
I got
You get a
ramen
sandwich
for
at a
dinner. I had
bodega.
delicious ramen. I was great.
But of all places, Manhattan, especially like below
stop it.
14th Street, it is like sandwich heaven. I mean, it is like
just mute him and
delicatessen
move on,
heaven.
'cause
What are you doing?
it was 9. It was 9 p.m. We wanted to go to
Anti-Semite.
Regina.
Your roommate's an anti-Semite.
Yes, correct.
It always comes down to the tribe.
You caught him.
It's always the
Um,
problem.
It's going to Subway in Manhattan, Matt. What are we talking about here?
But anyway,
look.
you're missing the point, which is
I
the
don't.
fact
Is
that
there a point?
yes, the point is that I am dismayed by these
Expensive.
prices, and it was the most jarring display of inflation that I have seen. It was like inflation jump scare to me.
Okay.
The other semi-notable thing here is that Subway is switching their business model, and the whole thing about how you get to customize your sandwich, make your own sandwich, that's not their priority anymore. They said in
Oh.
a statement that they are asking customers to trust their culinary expertise and
No,
Yep,
yeah,
and
baby.
trust in the sandwich artists
Oh.
to create a sandwich
Artists.
Subway believes customers will enjoy.
Oh,
But
Is there a sandwich Banksy, do you think, or a sandwich like
I hope
what
so.
is a sandwich artist?
hey, I think Damien might be one. Damien, I think, has
yeah,
a sandwich.
I will
for
say
I
lunch
know, he
this.
has very
every day.
strong feelings.
I
That's
do
true.
feel bad for Subway because they know it's over.
Yeah, it's
They know
getting
it's the-
close to being over.
Yeah, once Jared went to jail for pedophilia, they knew it's over. I mean, it's over, and their food sucked. It's over.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
And finally, number
Yeah.
3 in our nothing can be unproblematic headline of the week. The James Webb Telescope's first photos show its extraordinary
Okay.
power.
Don't
So,
ruin this for me.
Yeah,
The photos are awesome.
the photos are really
Try to
awesome.
ruin
My
it.
favorite, which
Try
I
to ruin it.
included just for you to gaze at, is the Carina Nebula, which is all of the new baby stars that had been born not that long ago, and behind the stars.
The quintet, the galaxy, 5 galaxies crashing into one another photo. That one was my favorite.
Could I have green peppers on that one?
Yep.
No,
you can.
you have to trust the culinary expertise of the James Webb.
So, the hence my joke about nothing being unproblematic.
Come
this
on, do it.
telescope is
Ruin it.
problematic.
Do
It's
it.
named
Ruin
after
it.
James Webb, a former NASA chief who was a homophobe. It is
Okay.
pretty well
believe
documented
that.
based on a piece written
Who
by
isn't?
4 NASA
I was
scientists.
gonna say, as Matt would say, who wasn't a homophobe back then?
It's an excellent point, but he was in management and in meetings where it has been documented that people were plotting the Lavender Scare of the 1950s, 1960s, and
Lavender Scare. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, so the Lavender Scare was a period of time in the 50s and 60s where the federal government was purging anyone with LGBTQ identities out of government. They were basically
That
just
sounds like a
firing
good
them
play
when they
for
found out that they
DeSantis.
were gay. Yeah.
You should call DeSantis' office. Might want to do that. Okay.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
else should we hate about this telescope?
Don't hate the telescope.
So you should also hate about this. What you should also hate about this telescope is who it was manufactured by. It was jointly
Oh.
manufactured by 3 aerospace or defense companies, and
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go from best to worst here.
Okay.
Corporation number 1 was the Ball Corporation. They used to make glass jars and like teach people how to
Oh, yeah.
can fruit
Nice
and
jars.
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like their jars.
They don't own their jars anymore. They sold their
Aw.
jarring business. They don't do jars
Okay, but
anymore.
I don't care.
The jars are still
They
good.
now make
Yeah.
telescopes, apparently, and sustainable aluminum cups for Jason Momoa to endorse.
So what
which-
are you complaining about?
Yeah.
No,
that's
this
good.
is the
this
least
is the
bad
good. This
one.
is good to
Oh,
good to bad.
So don't
This
tell
is
us about the least bad ones. I want to hear about the bad ones.
No. I want.
They
I
have-
want to feel good about this telescope.
And
Okay,
they
okay.
almost have gender parity on their board. 12 board members, 5 women. Not bad.
Oh wow! Congratulations, Ball Corporation.
That's not bad.
I like
That's
you.
not bad.
Yep. And then there is L3 Harris, which is a 13-person board, 3 women, male CEO. They also help manufacture this telescope, and they are currently trying to buy the Israeli spyware company that sold its no-click spyware products to governments that are targeting activists, politicians, journalists. This was in the news a little while ago about how all these people were being targeted by this no-click spyware, and this is the company that was doing it. And this company wouldn't sell their spyware to the Ukraine, but they did to Russia. So
Matt-
thank you, L3 Harris.
Matt, can we agree that having 3 women on the board is the new like having 1 woman on the board? It's like it doesn't it feel token to you when you
I agree.
only have 3 women? Like because it correlates with the academic research that we sold a lot of MSCI, right?
literally-
That-
well, we
that you
it's
need
our
3
fault.
you
You
need
could
3
blame
for, like, a-
anybody. You blame
to
us.
be effective, and they just stopped at 3.
And then they were
so
like, "Three's enough. Call it
Yeah, so-
off. We got 3."
I'm calling 3 women now worse than 2 women.
We need to.
Is that possible?
No, it's not possible. But
I think it is.
We need to update the academic research. Is what needs to happen. Where we need to say, now you need 50% of your board to be women, or 4, whichever is greater.
Well, it's the same
All
with
right.
some of these advocacy groups. God bless their souls. Which remember they were fighting for like 30%.
30
women
for
on board?
30. Yeah, it was 30%
Yeah, it's like,
women
come
by
on, what are you doing?
2030.
Why
Yeah.
are you shooting so low?
Well, what literally?
Really, but what are you doing?
Trip on 30% women.
Yeah.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Emma.
Well, now that you've said that, we'll see how you feel about this. The final and worst of the manufacturers is Northrop Grumman, whose name
Yeah,
you might have
nobody
heard
likes them.
before. And given your 3-woman argument, they have 4 women on their
Okay, that's good. Fine.
person
I'm
board
okay with that.
and a female CEO.
Whoa!
Yep. Which is a paradox
Groundbreaking.
here because there were so many scandals for this company. I literally could not choose one. to highlight.
Okay.
They were named the biggest water polluter of American corporations in 2019. They've gotten fined for breaking like rules and regulations. They've stolen data from other governments. Like on and on and on.
Well, she was appointed only 3 years ago, so maybe it's not all her fault.
Oh no, stop
No.
it. The Northrop Grumman and General Dynamics and Boeing and Caterpillar are some of the most intertwined, incestuous group of companies in the entire world. Literally, you can name a director or an executive at one, and chances are they've either had coffee and bong rips. They've had sat on each other's boards, were executives at each other, or go to middle school with one another. It's like they all know each other. They're all terrible. So, but
we
they're
have the data
involved
now
in
to
all
back
this
it up.
stuff.
That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, so those are your three beautiful, wonderful companies who built your beautiful, wonderful telescope.
Guess what?
who That's named after a beautiful, wonderful homophobe.
Shut your face and look at the beautiful
I like it.
pictures and just
I like
leave it
that.
alone. Just
Emma,
stop
I
it.
like that you ruined that for Matt, but I don't. But this whole you going to Subway it's gonna haunt me forever.
Good.
Yeah,
I wanted to haunt you.
I also think there's a secret agenda to elevate Taco Bell over Subway with that story. So
Interesting.
because we know Emma's
Maybe.
favorite.
Maybe.
That's all we have. That was a way too long show to catch up on the news in like 700 minutes.
We didn't
Damien
say
Ross
catch
and
up.
Emma Lurking. I'm Matt Mascardi. We are Free Float Media. This was Business Pants. Go rate it. Go review it because you don't do those things, and I hate it. I ask you all the time, you never do it. So just do it. Give us the 5 stars and write a review that says, my mom loves your show, because we know she does. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow with Woke Wednesday. Goodbye.